My name's Lisa, and I'm glad to meet you again. Have you received my videos? Isn't that great? So today I'm gonna do another book report, and this book is called Fantastic Mr. Fox, right? Okay, so let me introduce you the characters. Okay, here it is. See it? Let me introduce you the characters. So first there is Mr. Fox. There is Mrs. Fox. The small foxes, Badger, Mr. Fox's friend, Farmer Buns, Farmer Buggies, Farmer Bean. Ooh, see that? So now let's begin. Now let me introduce you of the first part, and then we'll go all the way in the end. Okay? So first, there are 3 farmers. First, there is Farmer Buckus. Buckus is a chicken farmer. He kept thousands of chickens in his storehouse. He is extremely fat at his tummy. You see that? He's so fat. Look at his tummy. And he's always angry. And he eat chicken all day long. He eat it for lunch, lunch and supper. Whoa. I've never met a live person who eats so many chicken. That's not very good. Now, Farmer Buns is a pot-bellied dwarf. Look at him. There. Buns. Now, Buns is a goose farmer. He kept thousands of goose in his storehouse. And he keep mashing them into disgusting paste and stuff them into donuts and eat them. Ew, I never eat any such yucky. Well, nobody ever eats such paste in donuts. Yuck. If I were Buns, I would not eat it. Now, it's Farmer Bean. Bean is a turkey farmer. He kept Bean is a turkey and orchard farmer. He has thousands of orchard trees in his yard, and he kept thousands of turkeys in his storehouse. But actually Bean doesn't eat anything at all. Every day he drinks gallons of cider that he kept in his storehouse, which the cider is made by the orchard trees in his farm. Whoa, look at the thin Bean. He's so thin. He's as thin as a straw, right? Okay, so now let me tell you part 2 of the Fox family. So down in the hole near a tree in the forest. I don't think it's a forest. I don't know. But there is a hole. In the hole was a tunnel. And down the tunnel was Mr. Fox, Mrs. Fox, and their small little foxes. Look. There's Mrs. Fox. There's Mrs. Fox, Mr. Fox, and the small foxes. Wow, they're so tiny. And one day, Mr. Fox asked, "Now, my dear, what would it be today? A fat chicken from Buckus, a delicious goose from buns or a turkey from bean. Then Mrs. Fox tell what she wanted. And then Mr. Fox set out. But Mrs. Fox warned him, "Now do be careful." "I don't care. I can smell those smelly brutes with my nose from far away," said Mr. Fox proudly. "Oh, what do you think? Is he gonna get caught by those ugly farmers?" Then now the farmers are very angry. Every time their chickens and turkeys and goose go missing, they said, "Let's catch him." And every night they sneak into the foxhole. When Mr. Fox go out, he peeked his handsome head out and take a sniff. He sniffed. Just then, he heard some people. Then, when he was about to leave, when he turned to leave, there came a big bang, bang, bang of the guns. But he didn't get hurt. Only his tail was missing. They shot his tail. And when the farmer said, "Did we got him? Did you get him?" And then they shone their flashlight on the floor. What they only see is a yucky foxtail. Oh, the farmers are still angry. They would not give up. When Mr. Fox came in, Mrs. Fox said, "Oh my, what will do with it?" "It's so painful," said Mr. Fox. It'll grow soon, Dad," said one of the little foxes. "It'll never grow," said Mr. Fox timidly. "These tails don't ever grow again. I'll be less tail for the rest of my life." The small foxes kept silent. "Now, let me tell you more, just some parts that I remember, okay?" Then the farmers, they are angry. And they gathered all their farmers to the foxhole. They used cranes and dug it. But the foxes make the tunnel so deep and they could not reach it. So they said, "We'll never let them go. We'll never let that ugly fox go. And one day he will not give it anymore. He'll starve." But actually the fox didn't starve. Mrs. Fox stayed where she was, where it was deep enough. Mrs. Fox was so tired that she can't dig an inch. So Mr. Fox and the small foxes dug until they hit something hard. Mr. Fox pulled it up, and to his delight, they dug up right to Buggy's chicken storehouse number 1. And the small foxes jumped with a whip in delight. They keep chasing the chickens, but Mr. Fox said, "Stop there. We mustn't hurry. We have to find the plumpest chickens." Then they caught several of the plumpest chickens and called to the smallest little fox, "Come, give it to your mother and tell her to prepare a feast." So the little fox came, and when Mrs. Fox opened her eyes, she can't believe it. She said, "Am I dreaming?" Then she opened both eyes, and then the little fox said, panting with breath. Mommy, Mommy, Mama, we stopped right through Bucket's chicken storehouse number 1. Dad said to prepare a feast. A feast it may be, said Mrs. Fox. Oh, what a fantastic fox your dad is. Then she go ahead. She just go and prepare the feast. Anyway, while Mr. Fox and the other small foxes dug, and finally they reached something hard. They pulled up the plank, and then they saw to their delight it's Bun's goose house, storehouse, and they used the little carts to put the goose on them, and the tiny fox pulled down to Mrs. Fox, and then they keep digging, and they dug to Bean's mighty cider storehouse. They got tons of cider. Oh, and I forgot to tell this. While Badger dropped down, and then Mr. Fox said to the small fox, and said, "Come," and said to the small badger, that is Badger's son. And then he said, "Ask all the rabbits and weasels to come and have a feast in my home." And then the little badger said, "Oh, yes, sir. Of course, sir. I will, sir." And then he rushed off to give the invitations. Yeah. And when they come back, they saw a most longest table. They were filled with plates and knives, forks and pies. And the guests were Mr. Weasel, Mrs. Weasel, and the small weasels. There is Mrs. Badger and the small badger, the little badger, her son. There is Mrs. Rabbit, Mr. Rabbit, and the small rabbits. And there is Mrs. Fox and the tiny fox. Mr. Fox sat down, and Mrs. Fox stand up and said, "I don't know what to say, but my husband is the most fantastic fox." And Mr. Fox now gave a belch, a burp, a gigantic burp, and laughed. Then he said, "Now we are not going to starve anymore. Each one will have your own house in the village here. And every day I will go shopping for food for you." And the weasels and badgers and rabbits all cry with delight. Okay, let me show you the picture that they're crying with delight. Where is it? There! Look at them. They're so happy. They yelled, "Yes!" Now, the 18th chapter is still waiting. While the fox family was having a feast, the 3 farmers and their other farmers are still waiting. "How long will the fox live without food?" said Farmer Bean. "I don't know," said the other. And so that is what I remember. So I think that is the end of the story. So I think bye-bye, and I hope to see you in my next book report.